Hey guys, so we are back again for another stocks by request. And I know it's a weekend. I know markets have been closed Friday and they're going to be closed for 3 straight days. But as you all know, aside from trading, never stops. Learning also never stops. And this is my continuous commitment to just pump in as much content and videos as possible to all of you. Because the reason why I keep pushing and encouraging you to learn, because at the end of the day, investing, trading, it's all about the skills that you deploy. It's all about how much strategy, principle, experience that you have in order for you to make that trade. And I hope the channels and the videos that I have is something that creates and gives you massive content. So, by the way, if you're new to this, my name is Marvin Germo. I'm a stock market trader and investor, and I make daily videos on both of my channels about investing in the markets. So, if you want to know more about trading, investing, fundamental technical analysis, links are down below to my first channel and to this channel. If you want to know more about it, like, share, subscribe so you become part of this amazing journey of using the markets to help you trade and to help you reach your goals of financial freedom. So, for this video, I want to talk about consumption companies that have a lot of brick and mortar operations that, as you all know, this pandemic is not just something that's been happening in the Philippines, but it's been affecting different companies and brands. And a lot of them, because they're brick and mortar and people are not going out, they've been affected. So for this video, two local companies, two US companies. I want to talk about Starbucks. I want to talk about McDonald's. I also want to talk about Max. And I also want to talk about Jollibee. So the reason why I'm combining a lot of US and Philippine stocks already, because the reason I want to show you that the analysis is not as different. If you know how to use technical analysis, you know how to use fundamental analysis. And because you can trade everything from your phone via an app, uh, via eToro, via website, you can trade US markets wherever you are in the world. So that's my context and that's my narrative to all of it. And as you all know, I've been a big fan of tech because I really believe that tech is crushing it during this time. But a lot of those companies that made a lot of money from dine-ins, let's see how affected they are because of course they can pivot, they can sell a lot online, but because they also have a lot of cost because of the expenses that they had for their brick and mortar stores, of course they're heavily affected. Plus, if you have employees also, there's a ripple effect in terms of how they make money and how they will also spend money. So let's dive into the charts, and I hope you get a lot from this, and I hope that this is something that adds value to you. So let's do this. By the way, now what you're seeing right here is the PSEI. It's the index. I made videos about that, but just for those who missed it, we still have the PSEI in a downtrend. So first things first, let's start with Max. So for people are asking, Max yan ba yung candy? Hindi yan yung candy, yan yung fast food chain, casual dining chain at the very least. No. And for those who don't know, uh, excuse me, I want to say this that Max is not just Max. Max, by the way, is the largest casual dining chain in the Philippines, and it's not just Max because it's also Pancake House, it's also Yellow Cab, it's also Krispy Kreme, it's also Jamba Juice, it's also Denchos, Cabecera ng Denchos, etc. So if you'll allow me to zoom out here, you'll see this that uh, from where we are right now, Max, as you can see here, is still in a massive downtrend. It's very, very clear from the time that Max went into the PSE, it started to slide down. And if I'll just plot this from here to here, you will see that Max still hasn't recovered from its downtrend. So, from a position trading standpoint, even this is just to give you full context of everything. Now, this is a long-term support of Max here. Prior to the pandemic, prior to the lockdown that started here, somewhere around here, Max was bouncing off this 8.85 peso support range. But even though if it was bouncing that 8.85 support range, you will see it very, very well. This is a very, very large bearish triangle pattern. This is a descending triangle that as it starts to descend and it hits this resistance, it tried to attack the support range. And because also there was a lot of negative sentiment, there wasn't a lot, of course, the pandemic, the coronavirus, the lockdowns is not something that's it's not something that's super bullish. People wanted to stay out as they wanted to stay out. This 8.85 support level was broken. And as you can see, a descending triangle is a very, very, very bearish signal. And I'll point this out. This is confirmation that this is a support range. And this is November 2018. It has never gone down that area, but it went down because of the breakdown brought about by the coronavirus. But even before the coronavirus, I'll say this over and over again, Max is on a downtrend. And the coronavirus just intensified it. The coronavirus just accelerated it. The coronavirus just made the stock push down even further. Now, that being said, after the zoom out here, after the breakdown, it's me zooming in, you will see that Max built another range. What's the range? The support of Max that you're seeing right now is over here, 4. The resistance is over here, 7. Another support line over here. So based on our charting, we can see that, and we can actually say that July 13, 2020, Max fell below the 5.3 support level. How do I know it's a support level? This, this, and this. It tried to hold off these levels, but because it failed to hold off these levels, this is what you could possibly see. The support right now is broken. And if you'll allow me to zoom out further here, this is where we are. Break down from this, hit the support level, hit this resistance level, and the large red candle that we saw this time for Max is primarily because it's closer already to the resistance. Now, that being said, if you look at Max and the whole positioning and how Max is as of now, possible narrative again for Max is if it does not push higher close to this resistance level, it will just hit the support level again. So your trade, your style as a quick trader, because it's very, very clear as a position trader, the stock is pretty much bearish. Stock is pretty much going down. Stock is pretty much not going anywhere. So it's not yet reversing. But as a quick trader, you can make a trade here. Why am I saying this? A trade that you can possibly do is 4.16. Now, that being said, if it bounces off the 4.16 level, target price is around the 5.32 level. As the target price is around that level, this is your possible upside for the stock. So you can write this down. Conditional, if Max goes to 4.16, bounces off 4.16, there's a buy there. If it falls below, you should stay away from the stock. You should cut. Target price 5.32, 27.3% gain, and it could give you again that the waiting time is relatively longer. This one is around 2 weeks from here to here. This one was a bit longer also. Then it started to push up again. So that's where we are for Max. If it breaks out from 5.32, hold. Target price is 6.91, but I think it will be a couple of days also before that possibly moves past that, and I'll have enough time also to make another video for all of you. So there, that's our context with Max. Max primarily was in a massive long downtrend. And by the way, I want to show this. If you'll plot another smaller trend here, somewhere around this, connecting this, it has not also escaped that area. So it's very, very critical if you want to see Max at least push higher. The 5.3 resistance level must be broken. There, comment below if you're learning. Comment below if this is something that's helping you. Let's look at Max. Let's look at McDonald's. So for McDonald's, this is, by the way, McDonald's is a US stock. It's listed in the New York Stock Exchange. But as you can see, same charting software, same methodology. If you know how to analyze Philippine stocks using technicals, why not use the same skill and trade the US markets? Because it's the same. Now, that being said, if I'll put the support line here, you can also, of course, peg this as a resistance that got broken, and you have this now as your resistance. Now, that being said, if I want to analyze McDonald's, nalilito na ako. You can easily point out also that from the drop that the stock had early this year, it's now starting its own counter trend up. As you can see here, very, very consistent. It's trying to make another separate triangle. Again, for those who attended the stock smart sessions, you know that it's trying to form a ascending triangle naman with a resistance here. This is 217.6 US dollars. And from a short-term perspective also, if I'll draw another resistance here, we have, if we'll analyze MCD, if we'll analyze McDonald's, number one, it broke out from the 185 resistance level. It broke out from the 200-day moving average. And then just a few weeks ago, at the start of the first week of August, McDonald's broke out from the 206 resistance. Possible area where it could go? Here. Target price for McDonald's is 216 US dollars per share. This particular range is roughly around almost 7%. This particular range from this particular breakout is roughly around 13%. This particular range is around 17%. So if you notice also, the gains of McDonald's aren't as massive as compared to the other stocks that we've been analyzing that are related to tech. Because as you all know, this is one of the most affected. They've been hit. Brick and mortar stores have been hit. But if you notice the difference between U.S. stocks and Philippine stocks, massive downtrend. McDonald's is now starting to recover and is now starting to push up. And by the way, I forgot to say this. The difference between Philippine stocks and US stocks is prior to the pandemic, prior to the coronavirus, US stocks were hitting all-time highs, but Max and Jollibee were already slumping and going down. So that's the context. Please take note of this. So for those who are analyzing, or those who have accounts with eToro, this is the support and resistance range for you to be able to trade Max. Please remember, next possible resistance for McDonald's is the 217.1 level. So for those who don't know what eToro is, it's a broker for you to be able to invest and trade the US markets for 50 US dollars only, meaning even if the stock price of McDonald's is 217, if you have $50, you get to buy a fractional share. A fractional share means that you don't have to buy the exact one whole share of McDonald's. You can buy a portion of it and you can have exposure ready and trade and invest and make money off of McDonald's. And that's it. Everything's online. If you want to know more, eToro, link in the description below. Anyways, let's look at Starbucks naman. Starbucks, as you all know, is in the Philippines, but it's not listed in the Philippines. But because they're a global brand, that's what I like now about investing in US markets. You get exposure to companies that are global in nature, and as they're global in nature, they're worldwide and very, very strong brands. And as they're very, very strong brands, uh, they make money off of different markets, that they're not just hit. If things go bad in a certain way, because they're highly diversified, they have a chance to leverage on different markets where they could possibly make money. So I'll give you an example. Uh, I'm a big fan of coffee, and in Australia, I believe Australia and New Zealand have the best coffee in the world. They arguably are one of the best in terms of how they make their coffee, and Starbucks really isn't doing well in those areas. But in spite of that, because they have other markets where they're doing well, they get to experiment also, that if they get hit in one area, they're not hit as much. But similar to Max, similar to McDonald's, everyone's hit in this pandemic because this is a global pandemic. But let's continue. Let me show you the charts. So this is how Starbucks is. If you notice the progression, it looks similar. Sorry, naggalaw yung table ko. It looks similar to how McDonald's is also moving. It's starting to progress and it's starting to move up again. It's starting to form its own ascending triangle. Resistance to watch out for Starbucks is 79.55. I repeat, resistance to watch out for. And allow me to zoom in because it's trying to bounce off this uptrend support. So if it tries to break out from this, possible target for you to go to for Starbucks is around this area. Resistance is around the 83.35 level. Next resistance is 89.15. The next one is 92.7. So please write this down for Starbucks. Break out from the 79.55 level will give further confirmation that it's now starting to reverse because it's already building its higher high, higher low. But above and beyond that, look at this 79.55 breaks above that. It has solid confirmation that it's now above the 200-day moving average, which gives us greater evidence of reversals, which shows us greater evidence that, hey, the stock or the market or whatever you're analyzing is now starting to reverse. So please write this down. Breakout from 79.55, target price 83.35, but above and beyond that, the stock is now reversing. Second, breakout from 83.35, next target is 89.15. Breakout from 89.15, next target is 92.7 US dollars per share. So those are the progressions for Starbucks, and it's now starting also to reverse and push up and go up and move into an uptrend. Lastly, Jollibee. Jollibee. It's what's so interesting is Jollibee has Coffee Bean. The difference though is Starbucks is still a massively much bigger brand than Starbucks. Sorry, Starbucks is a massively bigger brand than Coffee Bean. But what I believe this does is this positions Jollibee in other areas around the world that wala masyadong Jollibee pa, and it gives them more stores, a larger footprint, and it gives them the shot also to expand above and beyond the traditional fast food space. So I've said this in a lot of videos about Jollibee that they knew what they were getting into for Coffee Bean. They knew that it would be a turnaround story for them. In the same way, also Smash Burger would be a turnaround story for them. That the reason why they bought it was they wanted to turn it around, and most likely because it wasn't really that lucrative in terms of its earnings, they were able to buy it also not at a higher premium as compared to other companies that if they bought something that was massively making money, they would have bought that at a higher price. So that's how I see it. Anyways, let's look at the charts. I hope you're learning. We're at the 17-minute mark already, but I wanted to do a deep dive in all of this because I just wanted to give you guys as much content as possible. And I know that in the first channel, we have over 1,600 videos already. And this one is quite new, but I don't know. The one who gives the most value to people makes a large impact in their lives. And I just want to do that to all of you. And I just want to give you as much impact as possible. Anyways, so Jollibee, as you can see also, similar to how Max looks like, it's still massively in a downtrend here. And if I'll try to connect this to all of you, you will possibly see this. Still consistently in a downtrend. But, so technique, position trader, if it does not break out from this downtrend yet, as you can see also the 200-day moving average, if it does not break out from that, there's still no reversal yet as of this point in time. And that being said, allow me to put a resistance here. As I put a resistance here, this is the current progression of where Jollibee is. Resistance for Jollibee, you can place it around the 150, 152 level. Support is 125. So currently, it's above the 125 level. So the 108 is another support that it revisited, but as of now, there's no evidence yet that it's going to go there. Then you have another one around the 90 peso level. So this is the progression of how Jollibee is. Please do note support is around the 125 level, resistance is around the 150, 152 level. So Jollibee is not close to the resistance. Jollibee is also not close to the support. So right now, if you have cash, it's not something worth coming into. It's not something worth buying. If you own the stock, wait until 150, failure to break out of that, sell, take profits. If it does not go higher, but if it does, possible target price for you for Jollibee would be the 182 level. Now, that being said, Jollibee, if it goes here, bounces off that, buy, target price will be here. So as you can see here, this is your possible narrative for Jollibee giving you 21% upside. But if it does not and it falls from this level, please make sure to cut your losses because the downside, we bring it here. And if you look at the entire trend, it's still massively headed down. It's still massively in a downtrend. So there, I hope you guys got a lot from this. I hope that this is something that's insightful. Based on all of this, is there anything that you would like to consider to buy in the next few days, or the next few weeks, or the next few months? Is it McDonald's? Is it Max? Is it Starbucks? Or is it Jollibee? Or are you a position trader that you want, as long as there's conviction already that they're reversing, you're gonna start to come in? So there, what's the one thing that you learned from this? If you guys have other questions, put them in the comment section, and I'm gonna try to answer them. If you guys have a personal question, feel free to slide a DM on Instagram, and I'm gonna make another video on top of that. And I guess that's it. Those who want to sign up to eToro, link is down below for you to be able to open a brokerage account and buy US stocks for only $50 US. I have 5 books that are available in Shopee. Links are in the description. Basics, technicals, and fundamentals. 2 online courses, one with Chinkee Tan, second one is with Sean Si, a collaboration. If you want to invest in the markets, click the link below. And I've started another community in YouTube. It's like a Facebook group, but for YouTube. Click the link below if you want to be a member, you want to be a part of this, and you want to also support this channel. So if you want to be part of that, click the link in the description below. And I guess that's it. If this video added value to you, appreciate it if you could press the like button, turn it blue, smash it so you get updated, and it helps the YouTube algorithm. So that's it for now. Marvin Gurmo. I hope you guys learned a lot from this, and I hope this video helps you trade well, trade strong, trade smart. See you all again soon, guys, and God bless you all.